From 14 News, this is Touchdown Live in the Huddle, sponsored by your TriState Ford dealers. There's more in store. Stop by today.
Welcome back for year 3 of In the Huddle. We're so back. Each week, we're going in the huddles of your favorite teams across the tri-state to give you an inside look before Friday's big games. My name is Max Parker. Aaron Hancock right next to me. Aaron, yes. What else are we doing?
Well, we are taking a deeper dive into the people who make up the teams with live interviews and feature stories to shine a spotlight on the minds behind the magic we see on the field every week.
Yes, and Aaron, our buddy Mitch is a morning guy now, isn't he?
Can't see him anywhere. Never find him.
We can. But don't worry, he will still be in the show. You got that right. Coming up on tonight's show, Mitch is back with TriState Insider. We'll break down the game of the week. And then Aaron and I will preview more teams and get you all ready for week 1 of Tri-State football. But, Aaron, before we move along, we need to talk about Player of the Week because it is just about voting time. Of course, we don't have anybody to nominate yet. Week 1 is still one day away, but we'll announce our first set of nominees coming up on Monday.
Yes, and as a refresher, we had quite a good time last year with our Player of the Week. Let's take a look back at all of the winners.
Oh, yes. Now, what is this beautiful thing? That's our 2023 Touchdown Live Play of the Year belt. Cool, right? Well, before we get there, we've got to talk Player of the Week. We had 11 winners last year, and I got to roll through these beasts. Number 1, Canaan Northington. Over 1,000 rushing yards last year, 8 total touchdowns. Week 2, Matthew Meadows at Pike Central, 1,000 total yards, 10 total touchdowns for the Charger QB. Week 3, we had an entire defense over at Memorial in a 56-0 win over Central. Tigers posted 6 interceptions, 9 tackles for loss, and even a touchdown of their own. Week 4, Roland Vera Jr. from Wright, 1,750 all-purpose yards, 20 tutties. Week 5, Tanner Boyd, Gibson Southern at nearly 3,000 all-purpose yards and 31 touchdowns. Then week 6, we head to Kentucky. Jaron Johnson of Union County helped the Braves to an incredible season. He had 4 touchdowns in that just one Player of the Week game. Now week 7, Wyatt Franz from Boonville. His winning week, he had a massive 6-touchdown performance. Now in week 8, we had a repeat winner, Roland Vera Jr. On to week 9, this guy, Orion Curry of Southridge. Then we move right along. Week 10, Sean DeLong of Gibson Southern, 1,500 all-purpose yards last year, 21 touchdowns. And then Liam Stone, North Posey, 1,900 total yards, 28 total touchdowns. And last but not least, number 12, week 12, Dylan Kendrick, the Memorial running back. He helped Memorial to a sectional championship, had a 70-yard touchdown catch and an upset win over Wrights. Now, if you put on a show, you get nominated. Go get your people to vote, Aaron. Why is that?
Well, some of our highest vote totals were over 20,000. And at the end of the year, look at that right there. We held our Player of the Year vote. Of course, Canaan Northington, our winner. And you get that really fancy belt right there. Look at that thing. And, of course, a signed football.
Yep. And right there, you can't quite hear it, but he's saying his name, Canaan Northington, and he's asking who's next. So all you need to do to vote is head to the 14 Sports app. Aaron, we'll learn more later, right?
Exactly.
Yes, so we'll have more in-depth instructions after we announce our first round of nominees, but we need something else from the folks, don't we, Aaron?
Yes, we do. This year we got to get some eyes on the student sections, so let's check this out.
We talk a lot about the highlights on the field, but I know you guys can put on a show off the field as well. So take a video of your student section each week, send it into any of the options on the screen. We'll take a look and highlight some of our favorites each week.
That sounds like a lot of fun, Max.
Oh, yeah.
We can't wait to see all the videos that everybody submits.
Yes. Make sure to tell your friends near and far. Tell your grandparents, parents, I want all the videos. I want to see some electricity in those stands.
There's some good student sections out there, too.
There certainly are. Doesn't that sound like fun, Aaron?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we can't wait for the videos. Now, let's get back to our team previews. We've got just 2 more to go here in the SIAC, Aaron. Tell us about the team.
All right, well, Max, last year was a bit of a down year for the Wildcats after capturing a state title the year before. They went 3-8 last season, even taking North Posey to OT in the sectional, but that team was young. and they gained a lot of experience last year.
Yeah, and at the most important spot on the field, too, Aaron, they got plenty of reps in for quarterback Tate Mallory.
Gradually, we got better and better, and Tate has worked really diligently over the summer, and he's better now. But he understands as well as anyone he's got to have 10 other guys on the field every play. For Tate, really, he's kind of self-motivated. He's very disciplined. He's easy to coach, talk to, and he, like I said, he's grown. He's turned into a leader, and he understands the game.
Now heading out onto the field tomorrow, as seniors, it's fairly simple what guys like Nate McDermott are excited for.
Play senior year, I mean, it's what you kind of wait for all your life, and just play hard and play as a team and try to get a win.
He's talked a lot about discipline, staying strong, and just going as hard as we can every play.
We're still trying to find ourselves, and we got some pieces to the puzzle that we haven't come close to placing yet, but our concern is Central right now because they've got just about everyone back.
Yep, as Coach said, up first for Mater Day, a visit to the Central Bears tomorrow. Now, coming up on In the Huddle, it's time for our TriState Insider segment. He may not be hosting with me this year, but you better bet he isn't going anywhere. Mitch Carter will be back for TriState Insider.
And you can't break down the plays without talking to the men who come up with them. We'll reveal our game of the week, and we'll hear from both coaches to let us know what to expect. Stick around.
Welcome back to In the Huddle. We are so back, Mitch.
Baby.
It feels
Good to
so
be here.
good to say. If you're one of our returning viewers, you know exactly what time it is. I'm joined by our Tri-State Football Insider, Mitch Carter. Welcome to the show.
Max, thank you for having me. I've been counting down the days, waiting to get back in here with you guys, talk a little shop with you, then of course with all of you guys at home watching us right now.
Yeah, see, I told you guys he'd be right back here. We're not new here, but maybe you are at home watching the show for the first time. First off, thank you. This is where we break down our Touchdown Live Game of the Week. Mitch is our resident football guy. He's just a football guy. Look at him. He's a state champ with Southridge, then played for Ball State, D1, baby. We'll talk about the biggest plays, who to watch out for, and, of course, finish up with Carter's calls. Maybe I'll put in a Max Parker pick in there.
Love that.
Where we pick who's coming out on top.
Yeah, well, last year I missed a couple, but in year one I missed one, maybe two. So take me with the grain of salt, but I will say I don't miss often. Looking to get my get back this year in the 2024 season, so stick around for that. We'll see how I fare.
I trust those takes, football guy.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it. Now, for the moment of truth, time to go over our very first game of the week for the 2024 season. Mitch, cue that drum roll, please. We're headed to North.
That's right, baby. We got the Castle Knights traveling to take on the Huskies of North High School. You got Coach Doug Hurd, of course, looking to lead his Knights on that 19th campaign, Max.
Yeah, in a following up a heartbreaker of a sectional last season.
Yeah, I mean, a shootout there. I mean,
Yeah.
50-60 in favor of the Huskies there. They would go on, of course, to drop that regional game against Bloomington South. Castle, though, graduating some serious talent in guys like Antonio Harris, Max.
Yeah, but Coach has got a pretty good group of seniors on his hands. Coach Hurt wouldn't spill, but between the two quarterbacks, QB Bowden Morgan, I'm expecting with just a sophomore last year and a starter, he'll be taking some reps under center for his junior campaign. Meanwhile, Max McCool can be entrusted to make sure to lead that ground game no matter who's under center.
Absolutely.
And on the defensive side of the ball, look for guys like Gavin Leach, Big Benny Patterson to lead the charge. This will be a tough squad to run the ball on.
Couldn't agree more, but you cannot count out those Huskies. Coach Joey Paradin, no doubt, looking to build on last year's successes. Similar story, though, for the Huskies there, Max.
Yeah, sure is. Losing talented guys like Sam McKinney and Kanan Northington are in the Huddle Player of the Year last year.
Sir.
However, there are some returning key pieces, too.
Absolutely. Guys like senior wide receiver James Mercer, running back Jason Rucker, likely helping lead that offense with a plethora of last year's juniors looking to fill in for that hefty senior class who, of course, has moved on now to bigger and better things.
Oh, yeah. So talk to me, Mitch. What can we expect here from both squads?
Well, we're looking at a week one, obviously. Emotions run high. Everybody's got something to prove. Hopefully nobody's really hurt right now. Nobody's super banged up. There's a reason this is our game of the week for week one here, right? North took down Castle for the first time since 2020 last year. Not once, but twice. No doubt looking to repeat that success. But after graduating so heavy, Does Coach have enough pieces to finish his puzzle and have his guys pull out that dub?
Yeah, and in the same vein with Coach Hurt
Yes.
over at Castle, no doubt a sour taste in their mouth after losing the home opener, and then again to the Huskies, missing out on a sectional championship. I was at practice. They were talking about stopping that run. They're returning quite a few starters. Coach Hurt will no doubt have them ready to roll.
Absolutely.
So we've seen the tape. We've talked X's and O's. Time for Carter's call. Who's it going to be?
So, Max, always as it is, you know, week one, it's the most exciting part of official ball. They're strapping it up, hitting somebody beside your teammates. It's not a scrimmage. This is the real deal. This one goes on the record sheets. Now, last year, right, I picked Castle. Pleasantly surprised by North's performance. Obviously, really proud of them. They had a great season. So did Castle. But does lightning strike twice? I'll keep it short with you, man. No, it doesn't. Give me the Knights again, and I'll speak no more about it. No further questions here. Give me Castle week one against the Huskies.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to have to go with you for that pick.
Put it there,
Castle,
baby. Let's do it.
The talent up front on defense. These guys are big up front.
Absolutely.
Just looking at the size, but
You mentioned, I mean, 2 D1 guys in Gavin Leach and Benny Patterson on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, you've got good running backs on both sides here, but I don't know if North's ground game is enough to get past those dudes.
yeah, but with North, they're motivated to stop those guys. So looking forward to seeing that matchup come Friday night.
All right, now it's time for yet another team preview, Max.
Yes, it is. We'll take a look at Jasper. The Wildcats always have high expectations. Once again, they hope to be a threat in the SIAC.
That is right. Head coach Tony Lewis tells us he has a lot of guys back with varsity experience, like quarterback Max Butel, tailbacks Caden Ernie and Jack Levin, and tight end Luke Heichelbeck, just to name a few. The Cats will also have a very experienced offensive and defensive line, and that bodes well for a team like Jasper.
On both sides of the ball, we feel good about both our offensive and defensive line. Our depth is not where we need it to be at this point, but we're still working on that. This offense, what we do offensively with option football, there's a lot of intricacies that you got to work through in the summer and into preseason here, and you know, you're trying to get those backups ready to go in case something happens to a starter. Really excited about both of our offensive and defensive line because you win a lot of games up front.
I would say our front six on defense is really good, and our offensive line is usually our biggest factor because we are a big running team. Obviously, everyone knows that, but it works for us because we always do have a good offensive line. We can kind of control the pace of the game on offense and really do what we want to any team's defensive line.
All right, tomorrow the Wildcats kick off their season against Memorial, and that game is at home, Aaron. And when they do, they'll be playing at a new and improved Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium. The home and away grandstands, completely new, but that wasn't all. An 11,000 square foot building was added behind the main stands, which has 2 new locker rooms, coaches' offices, a hydro room, and more restrooms, of course.
Our lockers are bigger, they're newer. We've got some stuff where we can hang our helmets and shoulder pads up on the locker to cut down on the different mold and different smells that you get in a typical locker room to try and let things dry out a little bit better. And anytime you get something new, it's always nice. Our school board and our entire administration put a lot of emphasis on improving our athletic facility. When they're done with everything, it'll be a first-class situation.
It's really nice. It's really humbling. Not every school in town around has stuff like this, and it's really nice to have for us. A lot of energy in the locker room. We think we got a chance tomorrow, and it's a really important game to us because Memorial always is a big rivalry.
The stadium entrances and exits were also reworked. The project was finished back in the spring. And of course, Jasper hosts Memorial tomorrow at 6:30. Coming up on In the Huddle, don't go anywhere. We've got the coaches heading up both sides of our game of the week, hearing what their keys for their teams are before the big week 1 game.
Yes, and you didn't get enough of Mitch Carter in Insider earlier. Well, we drag him right back out here. He'll replace where I'm standing right now. I don't know what I'm doing out here. So he'll be back at the telestrator and break down some plays for us. Welcome back out to In the Huddle. We revealed our game of the week just a bit ago to be North and Castle. So let's hear from the coaches of these teams here.
Yes, these teams kicked off the season against each other last year, and it was a battle. This year, I expect no different. Both teams have big bodies in the trenches on both sides of the ball, so the focus will be all on that run game.
We've got to, obviously, everybody plays a part in the running game, both the receivers, the offensive line, quarterbacks, carrying out fakes, the wide receivers and the O-line blocking. But Max is a powerful, powerful kid, as strong as we've ever had at the running back spot. And, it helps that he's like an 11-100, which doesn't stink as well. So he's very versatile, and he's going to have to put in yeoman's work this year for us to be successful.
Now, over on the north side of things, the same emphasis from Coach Paradane, run, run, run.
It's the old coach's cliche. We got to be able to run the football effectively and stop the run. Both of our teams here are predicated on running the football, and I think that's a big part of it. Obviously, they return McCool, we return Rucker, so I don't think it's going to be a secret who touches the ball a lot, right? And so I think we just got to get some consistent play out of our quarterback. We can't have any major snafus or turnovers. We don't want to help them out at all. Defensively, it's going to come down to tackling.
The game goes down at Bundren Stadium at North. I will be there pregame. We'll take in all the energy, Aaron. All right, next, as we've already addressed, Mitch knows ball.
Yes, and he is back this year to break down more plays. So, Mitch, take it away.
Well, welcome back in for year 2 with our favorite toy here on In the Huddle. That would be the Telestrator. Now, as is customary with our very first week, without any new games to draw from, we selected 5 of our favorite plays from last season. Starting us off here, we've got Elijah Wagner with Bossy. Now, this QB quickly proved to be a force last season on his feet and through the air. Let's go ahead and roll it here. Now, here on 3rd and 10, Wagner scrambling, as was customary for him, using those feet here, rolling out right. Watch this here. We'll stop it right here. All right, so you see Wagner right there, bottom of your screen. A hand pops in the air down there, right? You can practically see this vision cone here from Wagner in between 2 defenders here, but you know exactly what he's thinking. I'm going to clear this out. Let's go ahead and roll this clip right there and watch as our boy Elijah Wagner airs it out deep. That's Tyzion Tomlinson coming down with it. Cuts back left against the Jasper Wildcats here. All he's got to do is pick up this one block. Banger right there from number 4, and he is off to the races for an 85-yard touchdown. Celebrate with the boys. You deserve it. Well deserved. It was tough to pick a highlight there for 5. We talked about him all season. He was so dynamic, so good. We even had him in the studio actually using this thing to talk about his own plays, Elijah Wagner that is. Now up at UND, go Greyhounds, wishing him well in his freshman season there. Now, this next one here, right? One of my favorites of last year. We're heading now down south to Kroger Field in Lexington for what was the final high school football game of the year for us. That'd be Owensboro Catholic vying for a state championship against Mayfield in Class 2A. Let's go ahead and roll it here. Now, we're revisiting a dynamo connection. There it is. We'll stop right there. That's Brady Atwell finding his man Tut Carrico on that slant, right? Here, as we saw all season long, Tut wrapped up by 1 defender, 2 defender, a 3rd on the way, a 4th here lurking with the angle. Of course, though, big number 9 was dangerous, and he was all season long. I'm clearing this out. Let's go ahead and roll it here. Puts him in the spin cycle here, so he gets out of it. Big shock there, big tough guy, misses a block right there, catches a broken tackle, and he's off to the races there. 80 yards, he zooms to the house, breaking that last one there. 46-41 after that. Had the OC fans turned up. However, they would go on to unfortunately drop that championship. Still, an incredible season down in the Commonwealth for Atwell and Carrico and everybody over there at Owensboro Catholic. So, up next, coming back here into Indiana to visit our friends over at North Posey. Now, we've got another state runner up here in this team. This play coming to us from their regional matchup against Paoli. Let's go ahead and roll it here. Now, their sectional was close, right? North Posey, though, a team on a mission in regional. Right here off the rip, handoff goes to Jed Galvin. He gets the nod. He's running tough. We'll stop it right here. As we saw all season long, Jed Galvin, insane off the block. Very springy, very fast, and a tough runner here. Guy already hanging off of him. Another defender, you can barely see the yellow poking out. He's down there as well. He'd already broken through the line, gotten some nice blocks there as we saw all season with the Vikings. I'm going to clear this out. You know where we're heading. Go ahead and roll it right there. Let him go ahead and truck his way in there for 6. No big deal. He actually ended up having 3 touchdowns in the first half alone. Have yourself a regional day game breaker. They would, of course, go on to the state championship as well themselves before ending up as state runner-ups. Next one here, one of my favorite matchups from last season, 5-0 Heritage Hills making that trip to Fort Branch to take on 3-2 Gibson Southern. You had the always dangerous Titans looking to knock off sophomore phenom Jet Goldsberry and his Patriots. Let's go ahead and roll it here. Goldsberry takes the snap, gets some pressure right away, and rolls right here. We'll stop right here. See his vision cone right here? We're just talking about that with Elijah Wagner. 2 right here. Just a little bit of separation there. That's all he needs, though. Check this out. Hands already in the air. You know where he's looking. That's Hunter Meredith, one of his favorite targets all season long. Go ahead and roll the clip here. Let's see it. You only need a little bit of separation. Here he goes on his run. One arm trapped, dot, right to him on the sideline. Breaks a tackle there almost. Gets up. A little chippy here, a little head push. You like to see that. The boy's just out there competing. Look at that. All season long, that sophomore, who now will be a junior, really turned up for the Patriots. Of course, they would go on to see if Gibson Southern actually edge out the win in this game here, but look for these two teams to provide just as much fun of a matchup this season as well. All season long, these are two really, really hot teams, two really good teams there, especially with Goldsberry now as a junior under center. So last year, but certainly not least, they were a highlight machine last year. We're talking about the Wrights Panthers. Checking out their game against the North Huskies here. Jumping in the middle of the first quarter here. Let's go ahead and roll it. Quarterback Ben Davies drops back as he does all season. Finds his target deep, airs it out, and stop right here, coming up right there. That's Roland Vera Jr. You know him. You love him. Number 9. All right, off the rip here. Got to circle this guy. Sorry, DB. That's a shame. Already on his knees, looking like he's knocked in Fortnite. And this guy here got the good angle, right? You would think that. However, you see he's already hitting this little bent logo right there. Let's go ahead and clear this out. Just go ahead and roll it. Let's see it. I'll walk away. Let him do it. And he jukes a defender, slow motion. You hate to see that sliding in there right into the end zone for a 36-yard touchdown pass. However, 2-for-1 special here. It's our last play. Ben Davies once again gets the snap, rolls back. We actually lose him for a second. There he is. Airs it out deep. You know where it's going. And stop right there. Head tap, head tap, head tap. Connects once again with Vera Jr. right over that poor DB. You hate to see that. However, let's go ahead and roll it. You know what happens here. He bobbles it for a second, comes down with it, struts his way in for an easy TD there. That is back-to-back, the Davies to Roland Vera connection. Good for him, that 48-yard touchdown there. Good luck to him as well. Over at Kentucky Wesleyan, go Panthers. A couple of our guys here that have graduated now, stars last year, now taking their talents up to college, so wishing them luck as well. So that's going to do it for us here in week 1, but join us every week as I break down the biggest plays this entire season. Back to you guys.
Well, I'd say you can tell he's having a lot of fun over there. Thanks, Mitch. Next on In the Huddle, Aaron hits the road. He's got a player to quiz. Aaron, hit the road, buddy. You got to get out there.
All right, I'll leave. And we'll break down the schedules for the other games in our area as we get ready for the most wonderful time of the year when those cleats are back on the gridiron.
All right, welcome back in. No time to waste, people, because Aaron is ready. I just got off the phone with him. He hurried to fire off some questions in the red zone.
Hey, welcome back. We are here for our In the Red Zone segment, the very first one of the year, and we're here with Harrison's Keyshawn Jordan. Keyshawn, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
What is your favorite pregame hype-up song?
It's got to be like OD Crashing. Got to go OD Crashing by Baby Kid.
All right. What is your favorite pregame meal?
Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Ooh, that sounds good. Who on this team would you say is the biggest prankster?
The biggest clown is Tate Wilson.
All right. Now, who do you guys consider your biggest rival?
Wrights.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Ketchup or mustard?
Both.
Both. Hey, that's all right. What is your favorite video game?
I be playing Fortnite.
Fun, fun. How about your favorite TV series?
Swamp Kings on Netflix.
All right. And then what's your favorite subject in school here?
Probably math. Math is my favorite, yeah.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you joining us, Keyshawn.
You're welcome.
All right. We'll send it back.
All right, well, good job, Aaron. Welcome back. Now it comes down to this, our schedule breakdown for week 1. I'll let you kick us off. What do you have on the board for us, Aaron?
All right, well, after that really quick drive I just made, let's go. Vincennes Lincoln. Well, this is the first game of the night we'll talk about. They are on the road at Bosse over at Enloe Field. That's always a fun matchup. And as we mentioned earlier, Central hosting Mater Dei. Central, by the way, looking for their first win since 2021. All right, how about this one? Jasper at home, taking on Memorial. We previewed that a little bit ago. That is always a great matchup. Those two have kicked off the season against each other, I don't know how many years now. It's crazy. And then over in Gibson County, Princeton will be hosting Forest Park, Max.
Yeah, a lot of good options up there.
And also, Southridge hosting Heritage Hills, a war in the Pocket Athletic Conference. Ooh, mama. That is going to be fun. Mitch Carter will be keeping his eyes on that one for sure.
Oh, yes.
And then, of course, the Posey County War, the Battle of Posey County, North Posey hosting Mount Vernon. Oh, my. That's always a matchup you got to see as well.
Yeah, and Aaron, over there in Posey County, 2 new quarterbacks for both teams.
Yes.
We'll have to see how that goes. All right, well, I've got some games of my own to look at here.
Awesome.
Let's head to Kentucky. Henderson County at 7 o'clock, heading to take on the Meade County Green Wave. And then in a battle over in Owensboro Catholic taking on the Apollo Eagles. 2 good quarterbacks for both their programs. Both those kickoffs at 7 o'clock. Switching it up a little bit, 6 o'clock kickoff. Davis County traveling to take on the Franklin Simpson Wildcats. And then at 7:30, Hancock County visiting the John Hardin Bulldogs. 2 more games for you before we go. Union County kicks it off at 7 p.m. visiting the Madisonville Maroons. And finally, the Ohio County Eagles hosting the Plain County Cougars. Well, such a packed schedule tomorrow, and we will have plenty of games on tomorrow night on Touchdown Live. Make sure to tune in to 14 News at 10. But for now, thank you all so much for watching Week 1 of our Touchdown Live in the Huddle pregame show. We hope you enjoyed our in-depth look at some of the best football teams across the tri-state.
And of course, we'll be back each Thursday night at 7 o'clock to preview teams in creative ways. And naturally, this would not have been possible without our entire production crew and our marketing team. Thanks to all of them for everything they've done to make this happen.
Yep, and for highlights of all your favorite games, again, be sure to join us back here for our Touchdown Live show every Friday night on our 14 Sports app. That starts at 10:35 for Touchdown Plus, but of course, we will feature an extended version this year, new to 14 News at 10. We'll see you there.